You've heard the old saying, right? That some rules are meant to be broken? Well, I'm here to tell you about a rule that you should never ever break. And it's this. Never, under any circumstances, answer your door after the second knock. I know, it sounds strange. I thought so too. I'd never heard of it. Not until the night my life changed forever. The night I learned why the old folks in my town still whisper about the woman who knocks twice. It all started on a Tuesday, one of those miserably cold, rainy nights where the wind howls like a hungry animal. I was home alone, buried under a pile of blankets, binging some old horror movies. My parents were out for the evening, leaving me in charge of the house and my younger brother Leo. He was already fast asleep in his room upstairs. The house was quiet except for the storm and the flickering TV. Around 10 o'clock I heard it. Knock, knock. 2 sharp, distinct raps on the front door. It was loud enough to cut through the sound of the rain lashing against the windows. I paused my movie. Who would be out in this weather? I figured it was probably my parents. Maybe they forgot their keys. I got up, stretched, and walked to the door. I peeked through the peephole, but I couldn't see anything. The porch light was off, and the rain was just a blurry sheet. I shouted, "Who is it?" No answer. Just the sound of the wind. I shrugged it off. Maybe it was just a branch hitting the door. I went back to the couch and hit play. A few minutes passed, and I was just starting to get back into the movie when it happened again. Knock, knock. This time, it was more insistent, louder. A chill that had nothing to do with the cold night air crawled up my spine. My heart started thumping against my ribs. This wasn't a branch. This was deliberate. I muted the TV and listened. Then, I remembered what my grandma used to say. A story I always thought was just a silly local legend. She'd lean in close, her voice a low whisper, and tell me about the woman who knocks twice. The legend goes that a grieving woman lost her child in a storm just like this one. Now her spirit wanders, searching. She knocks twice on a door. If you open it, she sees it as an invitation. She won't take you. Oh no, it's much worse than that. She'll take someone you love, someone inside the house. Once she knocks that second time, someone disappears, and you never see them again. I always laughed it off. A ghost story to scare kids. But standing there in my silent house, with the storm raging outside, it didn't feel so silly anymore. My hand was shaking as I reached for my phone to call my parents. No signal, of course. The storm must have knocked out the cell tower. I thought about Leo sleeping soundly upstairs. A wave of protectiveness washed over me. This was stupid. I was letting a ghost story get to me. It's probably just some kids pulling a prank. I took a deep breath, trying to calm myself. I decided to ignore it. Whoever it was would eventually get tired and leave. I went to the kitchen to grab a glass of water, my ears straining for any sound. Nothing. I started to relax a little. Maybe they were gone. I drank my water, my back to the hallway. That's when I heard it for the third time. Knock, knock. It was right behind me. But it wasn't coming from the front door. It was coming from the door to the basement. A door that was always locked. A door that no one ever used. My blood ran cold. The glass slipped from my hand and shattered on the floor. I didn't move. I couldn't. I was frozen in pure, absolute terror. How? How was that possible? The legend never said anything about a third time. It never said she could get inside. Slowly I turned around. The basement door was still closed, but I knew. I knew she was on the other side. My mind was screaming at me to run, to grab Leo and get out of the house. But my feet felt like they were cemented to the floor. The doorknob started to turn. Slowly, so slowly. I couldn't tear my eyes away. The latch clicked open. The door began to creak inwards, revealing nothing but a pitch-black abyss. And from that darkness, I heard a voice. A soft, raspy whisper that sounded like dead leaves skittering across pavement. It said my name. Then it said Leo's. That was the last thing I remember before I screamed. People in my town still talk about it. They say a rule is a rule for a reason. And now I know why. They whisper about the woman who knocks twice. And they whisper about the night she came to my house. 'Cause once she knocks that second time, someone inside disappears. I broke the rule. I didn't answer the door, but I hesitated. I let her know someone was home. And now my little brother is gone. So if you ever hear that double knock, do yourself a favor. Pretend you're not home, because some doors are better left unopened. Thanks for listening. If you like this story, hit that subscribe button for more. Stay safe out there.